All right, friends, Dr. Cherry here. Welcome back to Coffee with Dr. Cherry. Grab your favorite cup of coffee because today's episode is extra special. Today, I'm joined by someone who means the world to me. My daughter, my oldest daughter, Marissa. She's a nurse practitioner, and I thought it would be fun to let you get to know her a little better. We're going to talk about nursing, becoming a nurse practitioner, a few funny family stories, and answer some questions that I think lots of nursing students would have. So let's get started. Did you always know you wanted to be a nurse?
Yes, I really did. Since I was a little girl, it was always, I want to be a nurse when I grow up. Of course, the specialties changed about a million times over the years, but the one thing that never really changed was that I wanted to be a nurse. And here I am.
Okay. Was there ever a time you questioned whether nursing was right for you?
Not really whether nursing was right for me. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. There were definitely times where I questioned whether I could handle what was in front of me. Nursing school had some overwhelming moments where I thought, I don't know if I'm going to make it through this, but I did, and here I am. And I think those moments taught me that just because something is hard doesn't mean you're not meant to do it.
Okay. So, becoming an RN is a huge accomplishment, but somewhere along the way, you decided you weren't finished learning. When did you decide to become a nurse practitioner?
So I actually started thinking about becoming a nurse practitioner when I was a teenager. But after finishing nursing school, I remember thinking, I am never going back to school. I graduated with my associates of science, and then a year later, I went back and got my bachelor's. And then I graduated with my bachelor's in 2020. And by that point, I had already interviewed and been accepted into a nurse practitioner program. And then COVID happened.
Yeah.
So I put nurse practitioner school on hold. And at that point, I honestly questioned whether or not I would ever go back. And then I had Maddox in February of 2021, and I thought, well, surely I can't do this now. I have a baby. But in August of 2021, I started nurse practitioner school, and by the grace of God and with the endless support of my husband and my family, I graduated with my master's and became a family nurse practitioner in December of 2023. And looking back, I honestly don't know how I did it, but I know I did not do that alone.
And as your mother, I am so proud of you.
Thank you.
Looking back, would you do it again?
Absolutely. There were moments where I definitely thought, what have I done? Especially trying to balance school, work, motherhood, and everything else. But I love my career. I love being able to make a positive impact on someone else's life. And I love that I'm able to continue learning and growing. So yes, I would absolutely do it again.
Awesome. Okay. I think nursing students assume that once you've graduated and have some experience, the nervousness just disappears. So let me ask you a question. After all this time, do you still get nervous?
Yes, absolutely. I think sometimes people assume that once you're a nurse practitioner, you're supposed to suddenly know everything. You don't. There are still patient situations that still make me nervous, and there's still things I double check. There's still sometimes I think, okay, let me think through this. But I think that's the part of being a good provider too. You should care enough to make sure you're getting it right. I don't ever want to stop and become so comfortable that I stop learning.
Right. And I know nursing students always say when they graduate, I have no clue what I'm doing.
Yes.
Yes. What advice would you give new nurses who think they're the ones feeling that way?
You're not the only one. I remember being new and feeling like everybody else knew exactly what they were doing, and I was the only one who didn't. And you aren't expected to know everything when you start learning. Definitely ask questions. Don't be afraid to say something if you don't know it, and don't let being inexperienced make you feel like you're incapable, because you will get there eventually.
Okay. Nursing is incredibly rewarding, but let's be honest, it can also be emotionally exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How do you avoid burnout?
So I actually experienced burnout pretty early in my career. About 2 years into my ER career, I was working night shift, and I kind of started feeling burnout. But I didn't leave nursing. I just changed specialties. I moved from the ER until pre-op, post-op, which gave me a completely different schedule, Monday through Friday, 7 to 3:30, and it made a huge difference for me. I really think that's one of the beautiful things too about nursing, is that there are so many different things you can do. Sometimes the answer isn't leaving nursing altogether. Sometimes you just need to change a different specialty, a different position, a different schedule, or even a completely different environment.
Right. I mean, in my 27 years, I've done a little bit of everything. Right. What do you do on your days off?
Of course, most of my days off revolve around my family. I'm a mom. I'm usually doing something with my boys or my husband. We like getting out, going places, making memories, and just spending time together. I like to read. I like to craft. I like to garden. I don't have a green thumb. And I just like having some quiet times, and sometimes doing absolutely nothing is exactly what I need.
Yep. Or coming to the beach with your mom for the weekend.
Yes.
There are hard days in healthcare, days that leave you emotionally drained. So when you've had one of those days, what keeps you going?
I genuinely love my career. I love being able to have a positive impact on the lives of others. I feel like God has blessed me with this career, and I pray that I can use the passion He's given me to make a difference in someone else's life. That's what keeps me going because at the end of the day, it's not just about the diagnosis or the treatment plan. You're taking care of a person. And if I can make someone feel heard, cared for, or maybe even give them a little bit of hope, then I feel like I've done something meaningful.
Okay. All right. Now we're going to switch gears just a little bit. I'm going to ask you some quick questions. No thinking, just answers. Okay. Who's more organized?
Me. Absolutely me. I'm a little OCD and definitely a slight neat freak, so I'm going to go with me. Sorry, Mom.
It's okay. So for all you people at work that think I'm organized, she's me times 1,000. Okay. Who cried more during nursing school? Be honest.
Honestly, I didn't cry that much during nursing school. I had some pretty overwhelming moments where I thought I'm not going to make it through this, but I did. Although I did cry after leaving from taking the NCLEX, but I think that was a different kind of emotional. After everything like nursing school, clinicals, studying, and stress, I walked out after taking that test, and I think it just hit me all at once.
I think everybody cries after the class. Okay. I do have to say it was probably me. You were 18 months old, and I still had to work a 40-hour-a-week job. So going to nursing school full time, working full time, and having you, yeah, it was me. Um, let's see. Now, most nurses, even nursing students, may be able to relate to exactly this. You go into Thanksgiving dinner and someone says, "Hey, can you look at this rash?" Who's most likely to answer a medical question at family gatherings?
Probably me. I feel like once you're a nurse practitioner, you never really stop being the medical person in the family. Someone will casually mention a symptom, and suddenly everyone's looking at you like, hey, what's your medical advice?
Yeah, and write me a prescription.
Yeah.
All right. What's one piece of advice you would give someone who's thinking about becoming a nurse?
If you genuinely have a heart for people and want to make a difference in someone's life, I would absolutely encourage you to consider it. But understand that nursing is also hard. There are going to be hard days. You're going to be tired. You're going to question yourself. You're going to have moments where you wonder, can I even do this? But don't let those moments convince you that you aren't capable. And remember that nursing doesn't have to look one specific way. That's one of my most favorite things about this career. There's so many different directions you can go. If you don't love one specialty, try another. If you don't love bedside, there are other opportunities. You can grow and change throughout your career.
Yeah, that is correct. As your mom, watching you become a nurse practitioner, I'm gonna try not to cry, has been one of the greatest joys of my life. So here's my last question. What's one lesson nursing has taught you, not just about healthcare, but about life?
I think nursing has taught me to have more compassion for people. You meet people on some of the worst days of their lives, and you can't always know what someone is going through just by looking at them. Mm-hmm. Everybody has a story. Everybody is carrying something. And I think that's something I try to carry with me outside of work too. I try to listen more, judge less, and give people more grace. And honestly, nursing has taught me that life is really about people. It's about how you make someone feel. It's about being there when you need someone needs you. It's about showing compassion when someone is scared or hurting. And that's something I hope I can continue to do throughout my career. I truly believe God has blessed me with this career. I pray that He continues to give me opportunities to use it to make a difference in someone else's life.
Marissa, thank you so much for joining me today. I know everyone has enjoyed getting to know you a little better. And I have a feeling this won't be your last time on Coffee with Dr. Cherry. If you enjoyed today's conversation, let us know in the comments. And if you'd like Marissa to come back for another coffee chat, tell us what questions you'd like us to answer together. Also, if you are one of my former nursing students and would like to be interviewed, send me a message. Remember to follow along, invite a friend, and don't forget to share these videos. You never know who might need a little encouragement or simply a reason to smile today. Until next time, keep learning, keep laughing, keep living a real life. God bless you.